Hi everyone, Joe here. Well, let's continue reviewing the book U Squared and the 18 principles to help us create a quantum leap. You might remember the story of a salesman quite some time ago, and this was before GPS ever came into being. That he was traveling to Chicago, and it was a big trip for him because he was really low on his sales for that quarter. And this was an opportunity, this was the opportunity for a huge sale that would put him way over his estimate and way over his goals, and of course, ensure his job security. So the plane was late, unfortunately, and so he rushed to the car rental agency, and he had a reservation, so he quickly grabbed the papers and hurried, filled out the papers and asked for the key and said, I gotta have a map, I gotta have a map, I gotta have a map. And so finally he got the map, and he rushed out to the car and turned it on, of course, threw his briefcase in there, and off he went, and looking at the map and looking at the map and looking at the map, and he couldn't make heads or tails of it. He couldn't find the streets, he couldn't find the freeway, and he did not know what to do. And so he took, I gotta try harder. I gotta try harder to find this. I gotta be more determined. I gotta be more focused. And the harder he tried, the more he tried. He tried everything he could possibly try, and could not find the street, could not find the freeway. So what had happened in his franticness, he had transferred that to the agent behind the counter, and that agent picked up a map of Detroit instead of a map of Chicago and handed it to the man, the salesman. And for however hard he tried, he would never find the streets in Chicago on a map of Detroit. So working harder, trying harder, did not work at all. And I think almost every one of us have been handed a map of Detroit for a life of living in Chicago. Chicago is the symbol for perhaps the life that you want to live. And having a map of Detroit isn't going to get you to that level that you want. That isn't going to get you to that level of U squared. So trying harder is not the key. And Price Pritchard, in the book U Squared, has this to say about trying harder. Quantum leaps cannot be achieved through incremental steps or through more of the same. The rules of what works and what doesn't work always change when you are trying to move from manual performance to U squared. Here's the way it goes. More of the same will bring you more of the same. Of course, if that's what you're after, fine. Try a little harder and get maybe a little bit bigger payoff. Try a little harder and you can get a lot better results, right? Well, possibly, but it's definitely not a sure thing. Sooner or later, you're going to reach the point where you can't try any harder. You only have 24 hours a day, and it may be that your resources are stretched to the limit long before you come to that set of circumstances where you reach the point of diminishing return. Trying harder and harder starts producing less and less. Sometimes, in fact, trying harder produces nothing but bigger problems. Let's go back to that fly that was pushing harder on that window when there's an open door across the room. He needed to be open to new options, and of course he just kept pushing on that window, didn't he? These are fundamental things that can absolutely open you to U squared. Ordinarily, you'll find that trying harder produces only incremental gains, not quantum leaps. So, if you want to make a quantum leap, keep thinking about trying harder. More effort is not your answer. So, you know, understanding and having a very clear picture of where you want to be, that image that you want of that life that you want to live, but being open to absolutely new things, to who is that person? Who is that person that you want to be, that's living that life? What does that person think? What does that person do? What does that person create? And what are they thinking about? What is the image that they're creating for the life that they want to live? And what are the conversations that that person is having, and the ideas that are being produced? So put on your magic realm and think about all of this. Have that image there so often, every single day. Be into that frequency of that absolute person and that life that you want. That the frequency is so important. So bring this realm up, this magic realm up, several times a day, and put yourself in it, right in that frequency. And know that that is yours. Know that that image, that person, all those thoughts, all those ideas, that is you and the quantum leap. That is what U squared is all about. So, you know, it's a new map for a new territory called your life. Make it a great day.